everyone, Chivos here, bring you another Hyundai A-League fixture review for the fixtures of week 25. And what a weekend it was. You know, it was good for a lot of teams, and it was bad for a few, but mainly good, especially for my team. But let's talk about it now. The first game of the weekend saw Melbourne victory, my team, beat Western Sydney Wanderers 2-0. A brace from Ollie Bozanic was enough to see a struggling Melbourne victory overcome a challenging Western Sydney Wanderers side. It was a good performance from Melbourne victory. It has seen them almost secure their finals place for this season, thanks to other results going their way. I'm talking about you, Sydney. I'm talking about you. Now, Western Sydney Wanderers will be disappointed to lose, and they will be unhappy about not being able to bridge a bit of a gap at the top. So they've made their own mistake there. But I've already covered this game in another video. I will leave a link down in the description below. The second game of the weekend saw Perth Glory beat Newcastle Jets 2-1 in a fixture which saw both teams reduced to 10 men very late on due to some very questionable refereeing decisions. Now, I couldn't believe the calls myself. Nigel Bogard was sent off for a red, straight red. No, he won the ball. He legitimately won the ball, but because the referee was on the wrong angle, he's called a pen. Now, it shouldn't have been, but, you know, what can I say? And on the other hand, I think it was Julbich was sent off for Perth Glory as well. And I don't think that should have been a penalty either. Just straight up, I don't think it should have been a penalty. But I'm not the referee. I don't make the decisions. And we'll have to see what happens there. So, Vidoz scored the first for Glory in the 72nd minute when he scored from close range. Andy Keogh added the second in the 88th minute when he slotted home from the penalty spot. And the goal sees Andy Keogh equal a national record, not just in the A-League, also in the NPL and whatnot. A national record for scoring in 7 consecutive matches. If he scores next weekend against Melbourne City, then what can I say? Then he's one of the best. You know, he's quite consistent. That's all I'm gonna say. Although he's lazy, he is quite consistent. Now, Polyak managed to grab a consolation goal for Newcastle in the 92nd minute when he also converted from the penalty spot. Now, the win sees Perth Glory claim their spot in the finals. It is guaranteed Perth Glory in the final, unless we have some salary cap nonsense come up now, which I doubt. Perth Glory are in the finals, so congratulations, Perth Glory. A fantastic transfer window from you guys has seen your team turn around and really show up. And to be honest, they could be threatening in the finals. I'm not even joking. They could be threatening. Now, Newcastle, we know their season's over. They're going to look towards next season. I'll tell you what, if they can sign Nordstrand on a permanent deal for next season, I think Newcastle Jets could be a bit of a team to watch. You know, Birighitti, arguably the best goalkeeper in the A-League so far this season. And with Nordstrand, if he was in form, they'd be competitive. The third game of the weekend saw Brisbane Roar beat Sydney FC 3-2. Brisbane continue their charge for the Premier's plate, while Sydney FC are almost certainly unable to qualify for the finals, which means they have had yet another disappointing season. Holosko scored the first for Sydney in the 24th minute, when he helped the visitors take the lead. It didn't last long. Petratos managed to get one back 8 minutes later when he scored his 4th goal in 6 matches. So Petratos finding the back of the net quite consistently now. Good for him. McLaren then gave Brisbane the lead 4 minutes later when he volleyed home past Janjetovic. McLaren scoring again. Why he's not in the Australia setup, I have no idea. But I'm not Ange Postecoglou. I don't make the calls. But Jamie McLaren, definitely one to watch. I'm telling you now. Holosko looked like he managed to get a crucial point for Sydney when he equalised 3 minutes from time. But it wasn't enough as Brisbane Roar managed to score not long after the restart after Henrique. Good old Enrique managed to score thanks to a lovely cross from Tommy Orr. I think it's Tommy Orr. And Henrique on the score sheet again, the super sub. He does a job. I'll tell you that now. He does do a job. So congratulations, Brisbane. I think you're still in the title hunt. And are you going to win it? Well, I'm not going to tell you that because you do have a big fixture still left to go. So I'm not making these predictions yet. Not yet. It's too early. Here I am saying it's too early. There's only 2 games left to go. It's not too early, but I'm not confident. I'm not confident. For all we know, Perth Glory could still win. You know, if a lot of fixtures go Perth Glory's way, they could still win the A-League title. So I'm not making the call there. I'm telling you that now. I'm not making it. But the 4th game of the weekend saw Adelaide United beat Central Coast Mariners 4-2. O'Donovan gave the visitors a surprise lead after 15 minutes when he managed to beat Galekovic at his near post. The lead didn't last long though, as Azias managed to equalise for the home side. And then Mork, he's been quite good for Adelaide. He scored a fantastic individual effort when he managed to beat 4 defenders and then slot home past Izzo to give the host the lead. Bruce Gite, I can't even say his name right now. Bruce Gite, that's his name. He added the third 3 minutes later, which then saw the home side in a comfortable position, going in 3-1 ahead at the halftime break. It was a good performance from Adelaide in the first half. Sanchez then added the 4th. He's a substitute. 81st minute goal. It ended Central Coast Mariners their chance of getting a point. You know, they probably still could have racked up a point, but the 4th goal, nail in the coffin. Game, set, match. That's tennis, but we'll use the reference anyway. And what can I say? Central Coast looked like they were out of it, but then O'Donovan grabbed a consolation goal for the visitors when he scored his 2nd with 10 minutes left to play now. Central Coast did cause an upset last week against Sydney, and they have scored a late goal again. They just need a bit more consistency. Yes, I know their team's not very good. They're trying to bleed some youngsters, but consistency is key. That is one thing you will learn. Consistency is key. Now, the win sees Adelaide continue their push for the Premier's plate, while Central Coast, we know their story. Let's not talk about it. It's already depressing enough, so just let them be. You know, just let them be. The final game of the weekend saw Melbourne City beat Wellington Phoenix 3-0. That's right, 3-0. City put in another fantastic performance, which saw Bruno Fornaroli, the Uruguayan, the man of the season apparently the best marquee signing. Well, I'm sorry. Bessart Brisha has proved himself at 2 clubs. Yes, he played for Brisbane and he was good at Brisbane. He came to victory. He's good at victory. You've also got the likes of Broich at Brisbane Roar. He's not a bad player either. And now we have the likes of Bruno Fornaroli. Fantastic player. Absolutely fantastic. Now, he made A-League history. You know, we all knew he was a good striker. Did we think he was this good? Probably not. 22 goals in a single season. The highest ever tally for a goal scorer. Now, he's still got 2 games left. And then he's got a final series. He's flying. Bruno Fornaroli. Magnificent. If he stays for City, I'll be surprised. You know, he reckons he wants to stay. But if there's a big money move somewhere, I'm sure he'll take it. You know, he's incredible. Incredible. He's on another level. Look, we're like, oh, let's have a look at David Villa. You know, we're all excited about David Villa. Why were we excited about David Villa? I know he's a World Cup winner, but come on, Bruno Fornaroli, give him a chance, mate. He's incredible. But I shouldn't be saying this. He plays for Melbourne City, you know. But credit given where credit is due. He is a very good player. Now, Navio scored the first for City just before the halftime break. Fornaroli then scored the second from a rebound after a penalty was saved by Glenn Moss. And he also added the third when he scored a great curling strike, which was his 22nd goal of the current A-League season. That was a terrible result for Wellington. Obviously, their season's over. next season they're looking strong already. They're going to continue to build, which is understandable. So Wellington could be a threat next year. On the other hand, Melbourne City have a very good goal difference going into the last two fixtures, as they are also in the race for the Premier's Plate. Now, talking about the Premier's Plate, why not have a look at how the ladder stands? There's 2 games left to go. And here we go. Melbourne City top the table. That is correct. Melbourne City top of the table. 22 goal difference. Yes, Brisbane are equal on points on 44. But they have, what, 14 more goals. 14! You know, if it comes down to goal difference, Melbourne City have won it. Melbourne City have won. I'm unless they cock it up against Perth Glory, which could happen. You know, if Melbourne City don't get a win next weekend, that could be it. But that goal difference is something to be careful of. Brisbane Roar, obviously, second, 44 points. Adelaide United, 43. Western Sydney Wanderers, 42. And Perth Glory, bit of a dark horse here, 40 points. You know, technically 2 games left. If they can beat Melbourne City, well, they go to 43. But the problem with Perth Glory is a lot of things have to go their way. A lot of things. But Perth Glory could finish, you know, as low as 5th, as high as 1st. Perth Glory, a great turnaround there for them. Melbourne, a victory, around out the 6th, 37 points. Now, there is 2 games left to go. And you do see Sydney FC on 31 points. Melbourne Victory are on 37. So there is a 6-point gap there, which does make sense. But the other thing you have to look at is, although there's a 6-point gap, that means that Melbourne Victory also have to lose by 6 goals. Oh, well, not really. They have to lose by 4, and Sydney have to win by 3. Newcastle Jets, their season's done. Wellington, their season's done. And Central Coast, their season is also done. So Sydney FC, they need to win their next 2 games and hope Melbourne Victory don't pick up a point. It's that simple. Melbourne Victory, 1 point guarantees them finals football, so I'm happy about that. Now, let's look. Bruno Fornaroli, 22 goals. You know, good on him. Good on him. High. He's got the record. You know, it's fantastic. It's not a goal a game, but theoretically, the EPL, you have a 38 game season, and if you score 30 goals, you're in the 30 goal club. That's huge. Now, Fornaroli scored 22. Now, should we have a 20 goal club? You know, that's a question I'll raise to you guys down in the comment section below. Should we have a 20 club? Because, you know, we only play 27 games, so maybe we can have a 20 club. Bruno Fornaroli's made it. Jamie McLaren's also almost made it. Brisha's on 16, Castro's on 12, and Aaron Moy is on 11. Most assists, Aaron Moy, he's won it. Forget it. Don't even need to talk about that. Most saves, Sorensen just ahead of Birighetti. There's Moss. And then Izzo and Kovic rounding that out there. Completed passes is Corona. He's won that as well. There's no turning that around. And clearances, Andrew Durante climbs to the top with 89. 6 ahead of Matthew German. Then you have Alex Grant, Delpierre, and Poscliero. But top of the table, Melbourne City, with a 22 positive goal difference, is something we do need to be careful of. If they win their next 2 games, they have guaranteed the league title. But that is it for the Hyundai A-League fixture review for week 25. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button. Subscribe to see more Hyundai A-League content. And hopefully I catch you guys on another video.